Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is phony British accent announcer guy, and everything you're about to hear is absolutely true, except for the parts that are completely made up. Good evening, Mr. Pack. Good evening, phony British accent announcer guy. Yes, I was wondering, I was talking with some of the other imaginary characters on your show, or I should say the professor's show, and, well, yeah, go ahead, what's the problem? Well, we were wondering why you haven't been doing any uploads lately. I mean, we're all sitting here, with bated breath, wanting to know what is going to happen to, His Majesty King Shor-An Begora, because presently he's under castle arrest, and the Leprechaunic High Council are about to arraign him for high treason and wanting to be a human wannabe, and, well, we haven't heard what's happening there, and you've kind of left everybody up in the air about that. Well, last I heard, he's under castle arrest, and the Empress of the Pixies, who evidently happens to be a very good friend of his, is trying to raise an army to come to his rescue, and she says if any harm comes to King Begora, that will mean all-out war between the Pixies and the Leprechaunic Council. She doesn't want to declare war on leprechauns in general, just the Leprechaunic Council. Or I should say the Leprechaunic High Council. So, anyway, that's what's happening there. Yes, but you're not doing any uploads about it, so, and, as I was talking to the professor the other day, and he said all of us imaginary characters need to, stick together. So, we were wanting to do something for His Majesty, but you're not doing anything. Well, I have to tell you, I'm kind of just getting kind of dissatisfied with YouTube in general, and I just don't want to do any more uploads. I have to tell you, I just don't want to do them anymore. Well, why not? I mean, we so much enjoy doing them. Why don't you? Well, I don't like the new layout. They've changed the layout. They're gonna force us all to adopt this new format on our channels, and I don't like the channel layout. And I like my layout the way it is. I don't like them coming around messing around with it. And YouTube is like, well, for instance, people like me aren't going to get a lot of views anyway, because it's a very limited audience that would be interested in, what I have to offer. But even so, I feel like YouTube is not only tying one hand behind my back with all these changes, but they're tying two hands now behind my back. So I'm not going to. It's a lot of work to go through for very little, positive feedback. So I just don't want to do it anymore. And YouTube it's not fun like it used to be, It used to be, in the old days, I mean, all you had to do was go on YouTube with a lip sync, and you would get thousands and thousands of viewers, and just that doesn't happen anymore. And I understand those days are over with, and you have to move on, and you have to do a higher, more difficult level of more superior work to expect to get a lot of views. But even so, sometimes one thing that really depresses me is I'll randomly go around and look at other people's views, and sometimes I'll look at somebody's view. I'll go around randomly look at somebody's uploads. I don't mean their views. I'm getting my terms mixed up. But I'll go around and I'll look at other people's uploads. And sometimes I'll look at somebody's upload, and they really have a terrific upload. It's really good. And they got like 13 or 14 views. And their upload's been up for couple of months. You know, there might be a singer, you know, or a guitar player or somebody, but they're not getting any views, and it's just depressing to see that. You see somebody comes out with something that's very good, but because they don't know how to play the game, they don't know how to promote themselves, or they don't want to. They may know how to do it, but they just would, for some reason, refuse to do it. Because I think a lot of artistic people, I guess it goes against their grain to promote, to be self, you know, to promote themselves, or they just want to create their art and they don't care about anything. And maybe it doesn't bother them that they're only getting 13 views, but it bothers me. I don't know. I feel sorry for them. Sometimes I'll put a comment just to encourage them. But yeah, the other day I saw this guy. He's on the YouTube, and he wrote this wonderful song, and he hardly has anybody looking at it. And it's like, so I wrote something down about it, and a positive comment, you know, try to cheer him up. But I suspect he hasn't even read my comment or even bothered to go back to it, because it was several months ago that he put that view out. Or excuse me, put that upload out. I keep mixing my terms up. And, you know, it's just, you know, it's depressing to watch. It's depressing, of course, when it happens to me personally, but I guess YouTube doesn't want to help people like they used to, you know, get notice. And the only way they want to help them is if, you know, you pay for, you know, promotion. And that's, you know, that's, I know this, you know, I just don't think they should do that. I think they should get their, I know they need money to operate on, but they should get their money through advertising. And if an upload generates enough views, then they should perhaps advertise on that upload, but not force that person to pay for that advertising. Now, I understand that they pay other people if you get a certain amount of views. I've never gotten a lot of views, so I don't know how it works, but I know if you get a lot of views, evidently they pay you something, you know, Google or somebody pays you something. But it's just like, I feel like the guys that got up the ladder first are pulling the ladder up, you know, pulling the ladder up from behind them, and the newer people coming on, it just don't seem to have a chance. And also, the capper was when they forced this new layout, which makes it even more difficult for people to see your stuff. And, you know, I like, you know, the comments when you come to somebody's channel. You have all these channel comments from people. Sometimes it's very nice. I like to look at those and read those. I don't think it's an invasion of their privacy, because to read other channel comments on other people, because that's what they're there for. People want it's like their trophy case, you know. And it's like YouTube is, you know, taking all that away. Or if they're not, please tell me how they're not doing that. They're just making these extremely boring looking channel pages that are just absolutely depressing. And I don't know why they're doing it. I think they got a lot of, I just think there's a lot of ding-dongs that suddenly have gotten control of YouTube, who have no conception of what it's like, or empathy for what it's like to be an average person on YouTube. The people on YouTube, you know, I think are people who are creative or want to be creative in some form or fashion. I know there's some people on YouTube that aren't that way. They're like trolls, and they go around, you know, criticizing everybody and raining on their parade. But it's just like, it's you know, I don't know. It's just depressing. And so I kind of left, I've left some episodes, you know, off of my uploads because, you know, I just don't want to put them out there. And I'm sorry for you guys, you know, the professor and you and, you know, Captain Lime and King Bagora. I kind of left you guys all in the lurch, but, you know, you are imaginary characters, and, you know, you know, not actually real people, but it's kind of like, you know, something I don't want to do anymore. It's just depressing. So that's why I am. Haven't done any uploads lately. Well, I must say that is disheartening to hear you say all this, but I can fully understand with the way you feel. Well, I just go ahead and end this. This has been quite a long upload. If you're going to put this out as an upload, we don't know yet. But yes, it is quite sad what is happening with YouTube and how they're changing everything with very little disregard to the feelings of the people who are on YouTube, especially the people who, you know, are operating at your or our level. But anyway, perhaps someday, you know, somebody would listen to all the unhappy people out there on YouTube, and maybe they'll, well, we can only hope for the best. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the phony accent announcer, phony British accent announcer guy. Almost got my title mixed up. And I'm sorry we don't have any better news to share with you, but this is us signing off for now. Perhaps forever. Maybe we'll come back. Depends on what happens. Thank you very much.